Once upon a time, in a peaceful little village nestled among green, rolling hills, lived a young shepherd boy. Every morning, he'd lead the village sheep up the hillside to graze on the soft, lush grass. The sheep were gentle and adored him, but honestly, the boy found his days a bit, well, boring. Just watching sheep munch on grass all day wasn't exactly a thrill. Ugh, there's nothing fun to do. He'd sigh to the wind. I wish something exciting would happen. One sunny afternoon, as a gentle breeze whispered through the trees, a mischievous idea popped into the boy's head. He scrambled onto a big rock, took a deep breath, and shouted at the top of his lungs, "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf chasing the sheep! Help!" Down in the village, the farmers and villagers heard his desperate cries. They dropped their tools, grabbed sticks, and raced up the hill, shouting, "Where's the wolf? We'll get him!" But when they finally reached the top, panting and out of breath, what did they find? No wolf, just the shepherd boy, rolling on the ground, howling with laughter. "Ha ha, I tricked you all. There was no wolf," he giggled. The villagers were not amused. They frowned, their faces etched with concern. "That's not funny," an old farmer said, shaking his head. "Don't cry wolf when there is no wolf, young man." But the boy just laughed again and waved cheerily as they trudged back down the hill, grumbling to themselves. A few days passed, and the familiar feeling of boredom crept back in. The boy smirked, remembering the commotion he'd caused. "That was pretty funny last time," he thought. "Maybe I'll do it again." So, he stood up tall, cupped his hands around his mouth, and yelled even louder this time. "Wolf! Wolf! Please, you have to help. A big, scary wolf is near the sheep." And once again, the kind-hearted villagers came running. They were even more worried this time, their hearts pounding in their chests. But again, no wolf. The boy burst into laughter, pointing at their flustered faces. "Oh, you should have seen yourselves," he teased. This time, the villagers were angry. Their patience had worn thin. "Listen, boy," one woman said sternly, her hands on her hips. "If you keep telling lies, no one will ever believe you when you're actually in trouble." The boy just shrugged, unimpressed, and went back to daydreaming. Then, one evening, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, a real shadow crept from behind the bushes. It wasn't a trick of the light. A real wolf appeared. Its eyes gleamed hungrily, and its sharp teeth flashed in the fading golden light. The boy's heart hammered against his ribs. This was real. He jumped to his feet and screamed with all his might, his voice filled with genuine terror. "Wolf! Wolf! Please, help me! There really is a wolf this time, I swear." But down in the village, the people heard his cries and simply shook their heads. "Oh, that's just the shepherd boy again," they said to each other, not even looking up from their work. "He's just trying to trick us. We're not falling for it this time." The boy screamed and shouted until his voice was raw and cracked, but no one came. Not a single person. He watched in horror as the wolf chased the terrified sheep into the dark woods. Defeated and crying, the boy ran down the hill. "Please, please, you have to believe me. There really was a wolf," he sobbed. The villagers looked at him, their expressions filled not with anger, but with sadness. "We're sorry, son," one of them said softly, "but you lied so many times. We just couldn't know when to believe you." The boy hung his head in shame. He had learned a very hard, very painful lesson that day. From that moment on, he never, ever told a lie again. He finally understood that honesty and trust are the most precious things you can have, and once they're broken, they're incredibly hard to get back. And that's the end of our story today. Remember, my friends, always tell the truth. It's so important. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring that little bell icon so you won't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.